Hi, my name is Laura Whitworth. I'm a quantum healing hypnosis practitioner based in the UK in Chesterfield. Happy New Year, everybody. I wanted to share this information that came out in a recent session of mine that I did because it is pretty awesome with regards to New Earth and the shift. I did video the session, so my intention was to actually put the session with the client out, but unfortunately the sound on my laptop is not great, and the last video I put out, people said that the audio it wasn't loud enough on mobile phones and things like that, so I can't put it out because it's not loud enough. I'm getting some new microphones, so what I did instead was I transcribed the entire session because the information really needs to get out, and so I have it all here, and I'm going to go through the best parts with you. I won't read every single bit verbatim because if I do, I literally will be here all day. So I'm just going to read some of the really key bits that I think people in the community will be really interested in hearing. Before I go into it, I just want to say, like everybody always says when they do any of these videos, use your own discernment, in that this is information that's come through from someone's higher self. The higher self is in the now. They have no clue with regards to timescales. So timescales are always fluid. So any dates that I give, any months, timescales, anything like that, take it with a pinch of salt because it's all fluid. And to the higher self, they're in the now, where all this has already been done, and it's amazing. They're not in 3D with us right here. Well, they are, they're linked to us, but they're not living the same kind of life as we are, where we want to know the answers of everything. We want to know when this event's going to happen, when the shift's going to happen. We want to know it all. So one last time I will just say, use your discernment. Any months, any dates, any timescales given, this is from the higher self of the client who is in the now, and the now is different for everybody dependent upon who you are. So, but I just want to get this information out there, okay? Because I think it's important information that should be shared. And when I do these QHHT sessions, this is why I got into this, because I am so interested in the event, in the shift, in the transition to New Earth. This is literally why I personally trained in QHHT. So anytime I get any new information, I'm like, oh my god, let's share it quick. So this session was conducted on the 5th of January. Massive apologies that I've only just had time to make this video. I have a very busy life. Yeah, so the session was with a friend of mine called Fran, who is also a quantum healing hypnosis practitioner based in the UK in the Midlands as well. And I knew it was going to be an amazing session because it's Fran. I just knew it was going to be a mind blower. But I have to say, even I wasn't prepared for the extent of the different information that we would get out of this session. So yeah, I'm just going to crack on now, and you can make your own mind up what you think. You'll either think wow, or you'll be like, yeah, whatever. But it's up to you. Use your discernment. Okay, so first of all, Fran comes down, and all she's aware of to start off with is just she's in the middle of this really white light. She can't see beyond it. She can't see outside of it. She says it feels like home. She just feels like she's home. So then I say to her, what are you aware of in this place? She says, it feels like I'm a star and I'm in the universe. So I say, what does it feel like to be a star? And she says, it's great. My consciousness is everywhere. It's quite overwhelming. It's like my consciousness is blended with everything. I can't comprehend it. It's just too much. So while she was in this place, I was asking her all sorts of different questions, and she was just absolutely blissed out. And I was kind of running to the end of the types of things that I thought I could ask her, so I was thinking, and then she just moved to somewhere else, which was wonderful. So she's this star, and then all of a sudden she says that she's dropped down from this light that she was, and she's dropped down onto the surface of a planet. She says, I'm on the surface, but I've got this light around me. It's almost like I am light in a body. I've got this translucent gown on me. So I ask her what this gown is that she's got on her, and she quickly becomes aware that the gown, it isn't a gown, it's just light, and it's just energy that's coming out of her that makes this amazing gown around her, which I thought was amazing. So I ask her to describe what she can see. She says, there's pointy buildings. It's like I go above them and drop the energy down. It's really weird. So I say, describe these buildings, because obviously I'm trying to get a purchase on where she is. Not that I would know any of the other planets. But I'm just trying to obviously get some more information to find out where she is, to take it from there. And she tells me that these buildings that she's dropping this energy down into look like ceramic pot. So I ask her if she's aware of what the function is of these buildings. What are they? She says, it's like it's all dead at the moment and I've got to put life into it. It's like a beam comes out of me and brings it to life. So I say, is there anyone else in this place? Or is it just the buildings? She says, it seems like it's just the buildings. I ask her, is there only you there at this time? Is there anyone else? Yes, it's just me. So I say, is this place that you're in, has it been inhabited in before? Or is it going to be inhabited? She says, it has been. So I say, so you're bringing the light back to a place that doesn't have anybody there. I can't see anybody. So what is the purpose of you bringing the light back to this place? And she says, so it can be occupied again by the right level. So I say, what happened before? Why did the right level leave this place? It was a low frequency that was no longer used. So I say, so you're raising the frequency so it can be inhabited? Yes. So then I ask her to tell me where she is. So I tell her to access her knowing and she'll just know where this place is. She says, I'm getting Norway. So I'm thinking, Norway as in Earth? Or is there a Norway somewhere else? So she says, it's on Earth. And I'm saying, so how do you feel when you go around spreading the light in this place? It feels good. It's like a clearing out. It feels like I'm actually doing something big. So she says she's clearing out these old buildings on the planet itself. She says the planet itself is on a good frequency. It's just these buildings hold low energy. So I say, oh, I see. So it's to do with the old structures. And is this so that these buildings can move up to the new frequency? And she says, yes, it's the energy within the pot and the stone. So basically what she's doing is she's going round and she's using her energy as this light being to raise the energy that's within inside these old buildings, because the earth itself is on a good frequency, but the energy inside these buildings is stagnant. So we stay there for a little bit and I explore that as much as I feel I'm able to, and then I move her because I want to find out what happens next. So the next place she goes is when it starts to get really good, and this is where I think I actually sat forward in my chair and I was like starting to really hang on. So what she says next is, I see everything as a sparkly energy, because I'm asking her, where is she? What can she see? So she sees everything as a sparkly energy. It's all been done. Lots of us have been doing the same thing, spreading the high frequency through these old buildings, and the planet is now so sparkly. So I say, this is Earth as she is now, and she's been cleansed of that low energy. Is she now ready? Yes. So I ask her, what does she do now? And she says, I'm just looking at it because it's amazing. And I say, and as you look at Earth, and she's all sparkly and all this sparkly energy, are you aware that you're with anyone else? She said, yes, but they're just energies the same as me, and it's a feeling of euphoria because we've done it. So when I asked her before when she was changing all the energies in these buildings, whether she was male or female. She said she was both. So she was like this high up energy that was both male and female. And now she's with other energies like herself, watching this sparkly energy that's on Earth. So I say to her, is there some sort of celebration happening? And she says, we're just looking at the Earth. And I say, describe the impact of this and how it looks. She says, it looks amazing. It's like a big celebration, but not in the way that you know. It's not like we're having a party. It's a feeling of euphoria because we've done it. So I say, what do you do now that the work's been completed, and what happens next for Gaia? The inhabitants will live a really good life without the dark energies being there anymore. They are free to do whatever they want to do, and they will be able to do this because that denseness has left. So then I ask about all of the humans and energies and different entities of the dark that were on Gaia. Have they all been removed as well? She says they've been transmuted, and the off-planet denseness that was there, that had come to the Earth, has been taken right back into the light. So I say, so there's no more darkness left on the planet? No, not from what I'm seeing. So then I'm like, okay, so at what point in Gaia's timeline is this happening? Because I'm trying to get an idea of when we could expect this to happen, obviously. And she says, I can't get a grip of when it is. It's all happening in the now from my perspective. So I say, but the dark has gone and the energy is new. Are you celebrating with your fellow sparks of the One? Are there any other beings there celebrating with you? And she says, the euphoria has been filtered down, so everyone is feeling it on different levels. So then I ask her, which level is it that you're on? Because obviously I'm trying to find out more information. It feels like I'm really high up, but I can't get a level. I was like, oh, I want to know. So I say, so you're in one of the high dimensions and you're connected to the One? And she just nods. She said, yes. She's, again, really happy, really blissed out. She's in this place where she's watching the liberation of Earth happening in real time, and there's this euphoria that's spreading down the dimensions. She's in a really, really high one, so in this dimension that she's in, they're all like, yeah, this is really good. But she can't comment on the other ones because she's not in those. So anyway, I move her again. I want to see what happens next. So then she goes, well, I'll let you see where she goes. I've come down to the planet. It's very blue and very green grass. So I say, so how does it feel in this place? And then she says, I wanted to come down and experience it. It's light and nice. So I say, how does Gaia look? She's quite bright now. Everything's really vivid. The colours are vivid. The flowers are bright. There's a feeling of freshness and newness. It's like everyone has forgotten what it used to be like, and everybody's really happy. So I say, so when you say all the people forget what it used to be like, do you have other people there with you? Because I really wanted to say, can you see me? I didn't say that. She says, it's like the people are just walking around enjoying talking to each other. Are there lots of people, I ask? No, there's not a great deal of people. So I say, what do these people look like? Describe what they look like. Not everybody looks the same. So I'm thinking, what does she mean by that? So I say, what is it about them that's different? Some have got light hair, some have got dark hair. They've got light skin, most of them, almost white. So I say, is that because of the amount of light that everybody now holds within them after the light arrives on the Earth? Yes. And I ask, what else is it that's different about them? And she just has this amazing look that just passes over her face. And she says, they're just beautiful people. They're shiny. So I ask her, okay, so you're viewing all these people, these beautiful people, and they're all shiny. What do you look like? So she says, I'm tall. She looks really confused at this point because she realises for the first time that she's tall. I've got a blue dress on. It's quite long. I ask her if she's male or female. She says she's female. I ask her what her hair looks like, and she looks really surprised at this point because she says, I've got sparkly white hair. And I say to her, these people that you're looking at, and you are obviously one of, are they the people on New Earth? Yes. So I say, how did you end up on New Earth? How did this happen for everyone? Because I'm obviously trying to get more information about what's happening. All of the energies just cleared all of the darkness out, and the energies lifted everything up. It's just a higher frequency. So I say, so how did the people in 3D find themselves to be in the New Earth? How did the change happen for them? So she seems a bit confused at first because she goes back to when she's putting this energy down in these buildings, and she says, I didn't see any people when I was putting the energy out. So I say to her, access your knowing and you'll just know what happened. So she says, they were lifted up with the energies. And I say, did they transform from how they looked in 3D to how they currently look in New Earth? These shiny people, did the energies transform them? It's taken quite a while though. I'm getting 3, or it could be 3, or it could be 30. So I'm thinking, please don't tell me it's 30. And I say, so some of the people on New Earth did transform over from the old Earth, so they carried over. She says, yes, there's not many people around here though. So I say, does it feel like there's lots of space? Yes. So what is it that you're aware of, I ask her. It's just so bright and nice. It's like out of a fairy tale. Everyone is really happy. There's birds chirping. It's a nice summer's day. So she's totally blissed out, at peace. I want to get more information. I want to find out more about New Earth while she's there, because it's not every day that you get a client that comes down on New Earth. A lot of people, when they come down, they just go through normal Earth lives. Some people do go to different planets, which those sessions are always amazing. But if you get somebody that comes down on New Earth, that's always incredible. So I want to get more information. So I ask her to go to the place where she eats a meal, because I also want to know what it is that we eat on there. You know, what is it that we're going to be eating? So she says, she's in a house. It's quite big. It's like an old style Edwardian house, but it's futuristic. So I say, describe it. It's very spacious. It's got places to sit and a kitchen. And so I say, when you eat a meal, what do you eat? Liquid. And then she looks really confused. I don't know if we eat at all. She seemed really confused at that point because her reaction was literally liquid. So I say, do you share this place with anyone? People come and go as they want to. It's an open house. Yes. Is there a specific room that's yours? Yes. The front one at the top. Do you share this room with anybody? Because I'm trying to find out if she's with anybody on New Earth. Now and again, not all the time. There isn't one person that inhabits this room with you? Yes. It's one person, but they're not here all the time. So I was like, all right, okay, so she is with someone. So I ask, where is it that they go when they're not there? They go off on journeys and exploring. Both of us do, but there's always one of us there in this house for these people that want to come in. So then I'm like, who are these people? Because you're always trying to get more information, So she says they're people who are interested in what we've got to say. They want to know more about the old planet. It's like we are historians. So I thought that was fascinating, that she's now on New Earth, she's in this amazing place, but people still want to come and visit to find out what the planet was like before the shift. Because if you think about it, we're witnessing one of the most incredible things that's ever going to happen in the universe. And we've got front row tickets. We're right here. So on New Earth, one of her jobs is to actually be a historian, to talk through what we did throughout the shift here on Earth. I personally found that incredible. So anyway, I move her to another important day because I want to find out more information. She says, I'm looking at my house. We're leaving. We're going to go and stay somewhere else. So I say, where are you going to? We're going to the mountains. We're going to stay in a really nice place on top of the mountains. So I say, what is this place like? It's big. It's open. I think it's glass. I can see through it. I can see views from all angles. It's very beautiful, very high up. How did you find this place? So then she tells me he found it, this partner that she's with on New Earth. So I say, oh, he found it on one of his journeys. Yes. So I ask her, was there not somebody already in this place? There was an agreement with the people who were already in it. They wanted to move on, so we moved in. Anybody can occupy anywhere. If there is an agreement between people, it's like we shuffle around. So I ask her, what are you going to do? Now you're in this amazing place in the mountains. What do you do next? She says, we're going to do nothing and just enjoy the beauty of it before we go. And that for me was just a moment of wow. Just imagine being in this place on New Earth, which is incredible, where there's no darkness, no fear, everybody's happy, everybody's blissed out, and you just sat in a house on the top of the mountains, just taking in all of this breathtaking beauty. And I just thought, wow, I so wish I was there. So I move her again. This time she's surrounded by flowers, and she realises very quickly that she's on her own, that her partner isn't there anymore. So I say to her, do you think he's gone on one of his journeys, or has he left? And she sits and thinks, and she says, he's left. So I say, why has he left? She says he wants to do something else. I'm thinking, what is it he wants to do? You know, he's in this amazing place. And then she says, another planet needs help. And I'm literally like, what? What? So I say, has he gone off to help that planet? And she says, yes. So I say, why did you not go? She says, I'm deciding whether to go or not. So I say, you're just resting at the moment. You just need some time to be. And she says, I'm contemplating whether to go or not. And I'm thinking, I understand, because, you know, we've been on this amazing journey, all of us here, helping lift the vibration of Earth, spreading light wherever we go, spreading kindness, being kind to everybody, raising the energies, smiling, laughing, being happy. We finally make it to New Earth. We're in this amazing place where we get access to just the most incredible place, but there's still other people that need help. There's still other places that need help. And I understand it. I understand it, because I think this is how we ended up here. You know, when you're a light worker, when you're a light warrior, when you have that fire inside of you, you just want to help people. So it doesn't matter where you are, what you've done previously. If there's somewhere else that needs help, you just understand that you're always going to help. I get it. So I ask her, does this planet that needs help have a name? And I can see the look on her face, and she's really, really trying to formulate the name of this planet. And she just can't say the name. It's just not something that we're going to get in our language. She says, I can't say it. It starts with an R, or it looks like an R. So I say, is this planet similar to how Earth was? It's very dark, yes. There's lots of darkness there. But it's in a different universe. And I was like, what? What a time to be alive! Oh my goodness. It's in a different universe. So I say, who are the beings that inhabit this planet that needs help? I can see them. They're dark and twisted and crouching. There's interference there. I say, is it the same beings that were interfering on Earth? No, it's something different. So I say, different beings this time. And who are the beings that are being oppressed? Are they humanoid? They look almost like large insects. Humanoid in shape, but not human. So I say, so if you go and help this planet, would you have to incarnate as one of these insects? Because I'm thinking, is this what I'm going to have to do at some point? I'm going to be an insect. I can see it coming. No, he's not going to incarnate. So she's talking about her partner. He's going to help with the energies. So I say, so you're still deciding whether to go. What's the reason that you haven't decided to go so far? Then she says, because we normally don't do it together. One stands back and helps from the other side. So I'm like, I see. So whilst you've been here on Earth, has he been on the other side? Yes, she says. So whilst you've been here on Earth, he's been on the other side. Where's the other side? So then she says, he's been on a ship. So I say, what is this ship that he's been on? She says, on a mothership above Earth. So I say, on this ship above Earth, what race of beings are they on this ship above Earth? Because I'm obviously trying to find out some more information for her. She says, Pleiades. But there are different races on this ship. So I say to her, I'm thinking of different places that I know of in the Pleiades. So I say, is he from Tegeta or Era or one of the other places in the Pleiades? Which part of the Pleiades is he from, your partner? Alcyone. Alcyone. So he's been up on that ship whilst you've been down here. So then I say to her, so what are you going to do? Are you going to go and help him save this new planet? Or are you going to stay on New Earth? She says, I'm going to stay here in the house on the hill and connect with him in that way. If he needs me, I'll go. So I was like, wow, okay. So then I ask her to close that scene and I move her because I want to find out what happens next. So we close that scene, I move her, and she says straight away, I've decided to leave. So I'm like, oh my God. So she says, so I say to her, so what happens now? She says, I'm saying goodbye to friends. And I want to ask her, am I one of the friends that you're saying goodbye to? Am I there? But I don't say that, obviously. But I'm thinking it. So she says that her friends are cheering her, you know, they're really happy for her that she's made the decision to go and be with her partner. She says she feels like her job there is done and she's had a good rest. So I'm like, I'm really pleased for you that you've actually had a chance to have a rest before you go and liberate somewhere else. I ask her how her partner feels about her going and he's really happy. And I ask her where she's going to go. And she says, I'm just going to stay on the outskirts of the planet. I'm not going to incarnate. I'm just going to work with the energies like I did before and put energy into the planet and see how it goes. So then I ask her to close this scene and then I move her again because this takes so much time to get all this information to come out. You know, literally it's taken half an hour for me to get through this in this recording, but in a QHHT session, it takes a long time because the client's so relaxed and there's lots of long pauses. So I don't want to keep her under for too long. So I'll keep moving her to try and get as much information as I can. So then she says, I can see a great big ball of light where we've done it. The denseness has been obliterated with light. It's all been taken away. So I say, so you've helped save that planet as well? Yes. This one was a lot easier though. So I was like, why was this one a lot easier? Because we've mastered it. Earth was hard. So I say to her, so you found this one a lot easier because of your experiences on Earth? Yes, but a lot of people have volunteered to help this one though. Why is that, I ask? Well, they've seen that it can be done before on Earth. It's like we just go around obliterating the dark energies. It's set the whole thing in motion, Earth has. So I say, so being a light warrior and spreading the light, now you've done the most difficult planet, Earth, the rest is easy? And she says, Earth kick-started everything. Ripples of light go through the universe. It's like Earth was the key, and when Earth ascended, it moved everything up. So I say, why was Earth the key? What was it about Earth? It was the way it was positioned. It was in the corner, in the dark, in the darkest part of the universe. Once that was done, everything lifted up as before Earth was pulling it all down. So I ask her, so how has everything changed? Everywhere is just nice and easy and light. But this where I am now, this planet, is in a different universe. So the universe that we are currently in, because I'm trying to bring her back to Earth because I want to know more about Earth. The universe where we are is now nice and light. Do you have any idea in terms of time what year this happened for Earth, when the Earth changes from dark to light? So this is where the really interesting information starts to come out. And again, I'm going to put out here before I go into this, use your discernment. This is Fran's higher self that is giving us this information. They are in the now. So timescales for them, they're totally different to us. We take everything literally in 3D. So just take it with a pinch of salt, okay? So 2017 was when the big wave started. The Lionsgate in that year was profound, but the big burst happened at the end of 2019. Now I found that really interesting because for me, I woke up in 2017 and the process for me started at the Lionsgate of 2017, and by the winter solstice I was awake. So that really resonated with me when she said that the big wave started in 2017, but then she says the big burst happens at the end of 2019. And I say, is that what raises everything? Is that around the winter solstice then, if it's at the end of 2019? So she says the big burst is at the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020. It's not a particular day, it is ongoing. Everything, it just lifted. So I say, wow, so that's the time of the liberation then, the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, when the Earth lifts in our universe. How does it feel when Earth is liberated? It's a massive celebration for those who knew. And the rest are just walking around with their heads in their hands, wondering what's happened. All they know is it feels good. What happens to these people then? How do they cope? Because I want to know what happens for the ones that hadn't got a clue. Schools. People are doing talks and explaining what happened, but the media has a lot to do with it, as the media puts the truth out. So I'm like, oh, I see. So the media actually ends up reporting the truth after all, instead of the lies, and the media actually starts to help. And she says, yes, well, it wasn't their fault, they were just programmed. So I say, and lots of the people on Earth who are awake do they have the role of helping the ones who don't understand what's going on? Yes, the ones who know what happened were there to talk them through it. And so then I say, are you aware of how it works on the day when eventually the light spreads around the earth and the darkness leaves for good? So she says, this wave hits earth, but it's dependent upon the person. If they embrace it, then they'll see straight away. But if they don't know what's going on, then it's very confusing for them, as not everyone is at the same level. Some people will just go straight there because they are ready for it, and others it's just going to be a very slow thing. So I say, so some people go straight to New Earth after the wave hits. It's the same Earth, but it's a different frequency. So whatever their frequency is, that person, that is what they will see. There's frequencies all over the planet, and some people, all they see is darkness. There's ETs out there, and they don't see what we see. We are in this illusion. The illusion comes from inside of us. It's like a hologram. So depending on what that particular person is feeling within themselves, that is what they will see outside of themselves. So I was like, wow. So I say, so these people, how do they find themselves on New Earth if they are confused by it? So I'm still trying to get a purchase on the people that don't have a clue what's going on at the moment. How do they find themselves on New Earth, the confused ones? Is it just that they're generally happy people and they hold a high frequency? Is that how they find themselves on New Earth? It's almost like a shockwave that goes through them, and they are quite numb for a bit. I can't speak for them really. I can only say what I imagine they went through. So then I say again, you think this big wave will hit by the end of 2019, early 2020? And she explains there's lots of waves that build up to it. So it's almost like the biggest wave will tip it. These waves have been going off for years, but they have been getting stronger and stronger. But the wave at the end of 2019 will tip it. So then I ask, where do these waves come from? Central sun. They go through our sun. That's where we get our coding from. It's a magnetic wave. So I ask, what else can we do to help ourselves to have a high frequency? So when the big wave comes, it will tip us into resonating with the frequency of New Earth. And she says, just enjoy what we're doing. Happiness raises our vibration. So I say, are there any dietary changes we can make? Eating lighter food, cut out beef and lamb, take out as much heavy food as possible. What else can we do? Drink plenty of water and bless the water. So I ask her, how do we bless the water? Hold the water, feel good about it, and then thank it. What else can we do to raise our vibration? And she says, go inside, reach for your higher self, listen to your inner voice. The inner voice will guide you. So that for me was awesome information, just absolutely incredible. So then I ask her what happens at the end of this new planet that she's liberated. What does she do then? She says, we just decide to go off because it's done. We're just floating around. We're just floating around visiting other planets. So I say, so are you just energy now? You've gone back to being energy again? Yes, we're just energy. We're just floating around now looking at different planets. So I ask her, what do the different planets look like? She says, I'm looking at one at the moment. It's red and blue. It's red because it's got a red sun. And at this point, that resonated with me so much. And I'm just thinking, wow. I remember a time deep within me that's what I was doing. You know, when I look at something like this, I know, I feel it, I know that at some point in my existence, I was floating around, being at one with the stars, just energy, just enjoying being blissed out. And that's literally where I left her with her partner. They'd liberated Earth, they'd helped liberate Earth, they'd liberated this new planet, and now they were just energy floating around in the cosmos, just absolutely enjoying themselves, and that was incredible. So at this point, I then brought her higher self through. So as we were talking to Fran all the way through, it was quite obvious that this was a higher part of herself that was talking, because she started off being this really high up energy that was in this high dimension. But at this point, I specifically asked for her higher self to come through and to answer more questions that Fran had that she wanted answering. Some of the additional information that came through at this point was, I asked, when was it that Fran herself went to New Earth? Because I wanted to get that information for Fran. And her higher self said she goes when she raised to a certain frequency, and that's what she saw. That is how this happens. You raise your frequency and then you see the frequency that resonates with that. So I thought that was incredible. That, you know, the single biggest thing that we can do for ourselves at the moment, if we are on the ascension path, we are committed to ascending. That's what we want to do. We want to be on New Earth. We want to leave 3D. The single biggest thing that you can do for yourself right now is concentrate on your own personal vibration. Vibrate higher. Eat light foods. Bless your water. Drink good quality water, you know, distilled or spring water. Do things which give you a higher vibration, that make you happy. Surround yourself with crystals. Go out for walks in nature. Sit in nature. Ground yourself. Take your shoes and socks off. Put your feet in the soil. I would love to do more of that, but I live in the UK and it's absolutely freezing here. And if I'm out and about in the UK with my shoes and socks off in this weather, everyone thinks I'm crazy. But literally, I would love to do more of that. So those of you that live in hot climates, please take the opportunity to connect, ground yourselves, feel the vibrations that are coming from the earth. So then I ask, so this scene that we saw where Fran was this being on New Earth, what was that and when was that? So our higher self said that that was a future part of Fran's life, and that particular scene that we saw was in 2025. So then I say, how long had she been there? Because obviously I'm trying to find out when she shifts. And our higher self says she'd been there about 2 or 3 years by then. But again, you know, timescales, higher selves, they're in the now. They haven't got a clue with regards to timescales, but all this information is interesting stuff. And something else that they said to Fran is it's important that she rests now. If you can rest, you absorb more of the energies whilst you are resting. So I thought that was really important. I don't know if any of you guys are affected by the Schumann resonance, but for me personally, I don't even need to check online to see what the Schumann is doing, because if I feel wiped out, I know for definite there's been a Schumann resonance spike. It seems to have such a huge effect on my energy levels at the moment. I'm either struggling to sleep because I have insomnia so bad I literally cannot sleep, or I am just shattered. There is no in between. I don't know if you guys feel that that's the same for you as well, but that's just personally how I'm experiencing it. And I do feel like I need to take periods of time to just rest. And that's an unusual thing for us here on this planet, because we're so used to always having to do something, to be something, to be somebody, to go somewhere, to, you know, and I think we just need to understand that right now we need to be taking time for ourselves to relax, integrate the energies, listen to the voice within. And you can't always do that if you're just running around like a crazy thing, trying to fit everything in that 3D expects you to do. So some of the other information that came through, her higher self said the event isn't just one day. It's an ongoing thing. It's waves and waves and waves till eventually the shift. So I think that's interesting as well. And that really resonates for me. These waves that keep coming in. It's like every time a wave comes in, we're integrating that light and we're moving up. We're integrating that light and we're moving up. To a point where there will be a wave that comes in that is so big, that is so strong, that those of us that have raised our vibration that much will then be tipped and resonate higher to the point that we then see New Earth. That is the way I feel. That's what resonates for me. It could be a different truth for everybody else. I'm not saying that that is the right way. I'm just saying that that's how I see this happening for me. And I personally had a QHHT session done last year, and I went to New Earth, yay, on my session, and my higher self said that literally I just woke up there one day. I kept raising my vibration, and one day I just woke up and we were there, and it was amazing. And that is literally how I see this happening, that these waves keep coming in. Those that are working on ourselves, we're working on transmuting our darkness, dealing with all of the parts of ourselves that need raising. We're working on our vibration in every way. Eventually a wave will come in and it will be the tipping point. And then I just confirmed again with Fran's higher self. So you see the shift happening late 2019, early 2020, and her higher self said, yes, more late 2019. So that was interesting. But again, please don't quote me on this. It's the higher self talking. They are in the now. They have access to everything. They're not so hot on timescales. We know this now. But it's just interesting. So I asked if there was any message for the light workers. And Fran's higher self said, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job. Almost there. So I thought that was interesting. Little almost there. And then I asked any message for QHHT practitioners. And Fran's higher self said, it's incredible what you're doing. Carry on doing it as much as possible. You're raising people up. You raise them up, and then they go on to raise other people up. So you're raising the vibration of the whole planet. So that as well is an incredible thing about quantum healing. As we are having these profound sessions with people, we take them on a journey to get to know themselves better. And it's all the individual. It all comes from the individual. The practitioners, we are there to unlock that within the individual, but all this comes from the individual themselves. And when they realize and face all of these parts of themselves in these different lives, and they deal with any sadness that they have from previous lives, or they see themselves on a different planet with their star family, all of these different things that we do in quantum healing, it's igniting that spark within that individual. It's making them vibrate higher. It's making their light brighter. And then they go off from these quantum healing sessions, and then they then speak to someone else, and that makes them vibrate higher. And everybody has this different effect. Everybody just passes the light. You're passing the light. You're passing it forward. So all of these quantum healing sessions that we're doing, we're helping not just the people that have the session. we're helping thousands, eventually millions, and eventually the light will spread around the planet. And then when you take that light that's spreading around the planet and you take the waves that are coming in, all of it together, boom, the light has won. And this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing as quantum healing practitioners. It's beautiful, it's amazing, and I just feel so privileged to be a part of this. I cannot thank Dolores Cannon enough for all of her hard work, because without Dolores this would not be happening. So massive thank you to Dolores. Thank you. So on that note, I hope you've enjoyed the video today. For me personally, it was an incredible session. Every session is incredible because you're helping people, and anybody that gets into quantum healing, that's all they want to do. Within them, deep within them, there is this part of them that just wants to help people. But when you get a session like this for a practitioner like me, it's just incredible, because you're like, yay, we got to New Earth. So if some of you are watching this video and you've not had a quantum healing session before, and you feel guided to have one because you'd like to know more about yourself in previous lives, you'd like to know more about your star family, you'd like to see if you go down on New Earth, or you'd just like to have the session for you to raise your vibration, because that is what these sessions do, then please do reach out to one of us practitioners. My name is Laura Whitworth. I am a practitioner in the UK. I'm based in a place called Chesterfield, which is the place with the crooked spire. It's just down from Sheffield. It's in the East Midlands of the country. My friend Fran, who this session I did on Fran, she is also based in the East Midlands of the country as well, in the Midlands of the country. And there are different practitioners all around the world. We're dotted all over the world. So wherever you are in the world, you can find a practitioner. If you want to go and check out the official quantum healing website, that is where you will find your practitioner. So if you go to www.qhhtofficial.com, you can click on find a practitioner, and then you can search via the little drop downs there and locations, and you can find the nearest practitioner to you, so you're not having to travel too far. If you do want a session specifically with me, my name is Laura Whitworth. You can email me at lauraann, that's Anne with an E, all lowercase, lauraann.whitworth, which is WHITWORTH, @gmail.com. That's lauraann.whitworth@gmail.com. Or alternatively, you can call me on 07950 619924. I never answer my phone, because if I'm hypnotising somebody, I can't have that distraction. I can't have the phone going off in the middle of a session. So you will have to leave me a voicemail message, and I will get back to you as soon as I am able. That number again is 07950 619924. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So as soon as I get any more amazing information on anything, whether it's New Earth, whether it's somebody coming down on a different planet, stuff to do with the shift, stuff to do with anything that I think is of interest, I will share it on my YouTube channel. And I'm going to crack on and get some decent microphones so I can get some of the actual videos uploaded, because the sound quality on the Fran video, it just wasn't of the quality that I could put on here. So to everybody that's watched this video, thank you for watching. Keep vibrating high, and I will hopefully see you soon. Have a great day. Goodbye.